Okay, we have our parrot. Now let's start adding our tree. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to actually start with the tree that the bird is sitting on, which is an unusual way to start a tree, but hey, why not? So I want you to think about where that would be. Like using a little logic, where would that branch be? So mine would probably be in this area right here. So I'm going to draw a little line on one side and a little line on the other. So now it's kind of like it's sitting on a ledge. Now, if you've ever looked at a tree, you know that the branches get skinnier as they reach up to the sky. So there's a thicker side of the branch which is attached to the tree, and then as it reaches up to the sky, that branch gets skinnier and skinnier. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to make one side the skinny side, stop and skip over my bird, and then make one side the bigger side. Then from this line right here, I'm going to bring it up to the top of the paper. From the bottom line, I'm going to bring it down to the bottom of the paper. And then I'm going to make the other side of my tree. Now, if you don't have room for the other side of your tree, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. So we got to have more than one branch. So now we want to add some more branches. So you want the branch to be a long, skinny triangle. Because remember, it gets skinnier as it reaches out to the sky. This part of the branch should not be wider than this part of the tree. It wouldn't make sense. If I had a branch this thick, it would fall off the top of the tree. So you want to make sure that they're long, skinny triangles. Not this. That's a thorn. Think long and skinny. And don't forget the other side of the tree. Again, making sure the widest part is next to the tree. And once you have some big branches, you can go in and make a few baby branches, following the same rule. They shouldn't be thicker than the branch they're attached to. They're long and skinny. Sometimes they even break off into a line. Just a couple more. That looks good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add some bark. And bark is a great way for covering up some of those mistakes or blending things in. There's lots of ways to draw trees, lots of ways to draw bark. I'm just going to show you the one right now. So what I would do is I make some wiggly ovals. And then I go around those ovals a few times. So let me get my ovals on here. And they can be in the branch too if you want. It's all right. Now I'm going to do some wavy lines going around the ovals. But I'm going to try to avoid having them crisscross. Sometimes it's unavoidable. So like, see right here, I think this branch should be a little bit thicker. So I can just add another line and that'll just blend right in. Same thing here with this branch. I feel like it should be a little bit thicker. I'm going to add some of those wavy lines to the branches too, to make them look like they belong. Okay, so now we have our tree. The next thing we need is some leaves. Now, a lot of times my students don't want to make leaves because they make them like this. And they think, oh, I'm going to have to make 1,000 leaves. Well, sure, if you make them this teeny tiny, and plus it won't even look right because look at the size of your bird. Look at the size of your tree. You have a big bird, you have a big tree. We're seeing a section of the tree, not the whole tree itself. So we need big leaves. Now the easiest way to make leaves are two curved lines, kind of like how we did the tail. Skinny, getting wider, and then getting skinny. Now, You could leave them just like that and they would look nice. If you want to get a little fancy, add that line in the leaf. And if you want to get super fancy, you can add some bees to that line. Now what I suggest is making at least 12 leaves, nice and big. And they can be anywhere. They can be coming from the trunk. They can be coming from branches we don't see. If you hit a line, stop and skip over. It's okay. Messed up there, but it'll work out. To have things overlap, it kind of makes a nice variety in your picture. And I think I will add the lines in there and some bees. Don't forget the branch the bird is sitting on. Plus, one of the nicest things about big leaves is when you have big leaves, you have less background to do. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Look at me, overachiever. 15 leaves. Looks like I have a whole tree full of leaves, and it didn't take very long to draw it all. Now in the next video, we're going to be talking about doing your background.